Secrets of Grindea. It's got cute hair, 3 different colours of books, a talking bag, and the merciless slaughter of local wildlife. If I was going to summarise this game, I'd say it's like Secret of Mana if it was made by hilarious indie devs who watch too much Cardcaptor Sakura. But is that a good thing? Yes. The answer is yes. You start your journey in the town of Startington. Startington. You talk to your dad, get a crappy sword and shield, and go on your own little adventure to become a collector. You swing your sword until you level up, get ability points, put them into whatever ability you want, and keep doing it. And my god is this satisfying. You can put your skill and talent points into many different skills based around magic and melee abilities. There's also no restrictions on what you can pick based on what you've picked before that. Because of this, Secrets of Grindea has the possibility of so many builds. Skills vary from sword dashes to summoning meteors to my personal favourite, summoning a horde of Zelda Deku scrubs to cast Bullet Seed like my old Bulbasaur. What makes skills so great in this game is the charge system. When you cast skills, you have the ability to channel them. If you have enough skill points in an ability, then longer channels will gain charges, which can give what is only really the same spell, enhanced or completely different effects. For instance, if I channel 1 charge on the Frosty Friend spell, I'll summon an adorable little ball of fluff. Use 2 charges and, though still cute, it's a bit more, dexterous. Use 3 charges and roleplay Nunu. On top of the skill system, there's also a crap ton of items. With their stats, a lot of the items also have special effects, which really add to the builds you can use in this game. Outside of combat, Secrets of Grindea has an unbelievably high amount of things to do. You can side quest a lot, and there's actually a really well implemented fishing minigame, which exists for fun, I guess. You can also play this game with up to 4 people, which really adds to the experience if you have friends that are also willing to jump on board. On top of the campaign, there's also an entire arcade mode where you're constantly going through arenas of enemies until you die. Each arcade run, you start off with nothing, and it really gives you new chances to explore and experiment with what abilities you could use in a future campaign run. Aside from the combat, adventuring, and fishing, there's also really good puzzles in this game. As you move forward in the plot, there's going to be a lot of puzzles you need to solve to progress. So far the puzzles have been based around block pushing, phase platforms, which are a cool addition to the game, and your progression through Grindea's dungeons, which are reminiscent of more linear versions of A Link to the Past's dungeons. On your journey, you're going to meet a lot of characters, and these characters have some of the most charming writing I've ever seen in a game. From a talking bag to an obnoxious fairy, all these characters' dialogue are extremely self-referential, and it's hilarious. Grindea is aware it's a game, and satires the RPG genre by doing what it does. You start in Startington. One of your competition judicators is Mr. Plot. The game's name has grind in it. This whole game is just a love letter to the RPG genre, and it's brilliant. The only thing I haven't even touched on that much is the story, and I'd honestly rather you go to it blind. At its core, it's you becoming a collector and going to collect special artifacts that can talk, kind of like that talking bag. You also collect cards that certain types of enemies drop that give you stat boosts, such as a bit of extra health or attack. It may seem simple, but there is a lot of overarching plot involved, which slowly adds tension to what you're doing. So, should you get Secrets of Grindea? It is still in early access, and understandably a lot of people are jumpy about that. A lot of early access games have been disasters. But I assure you, buying this game is worth it. Even when I bought it 4 months ago when it had a lot less content, it was still worth more than the money I spent on it. The 3 people making this game at Pixel Ferrets have done an amazing job. I've looked at their dev blog and you can see that they have been putting blood, sweat and tears into this project non-stop. I'm not putting number scores on this channel. Just buy the game. Just do it. It'll be a good decision. Buy the game.